我们刚刚和买家做完了所有的 walkthrough 啊，下个礼拜就准备交房了，全新的联排。现在同样尺寸的房子在周边要卖到接近80万了。Sheahomes 的质量不得不提一下，真的是蛮好的。然后我们这边升级了地面，然后包括上面的实木的地板、地砖，我们都用的很好的材料，一共是73万多块钱。然后建商当时候还给我们了1万块钱的这个 closing cost， 本来是给我们5000，后来我们额外又争取了5000，这个也是属于 exception， 因为那个时候已经开始抢房子了，这些房子我们买完一下子就全部都卖完了。下个礼拜搬家，买家的租约呢也是正好到月底到期，所以无缝衔接，非常可爱的房子，低地税，然后 HOA 作为联排来说也不高，有游泳池，然后进出也很方便，在 Mission viejo 靠近241的地方。这个房子门口就是一个小的他们社区的 shopping plaza， 里面有做美甲的，有饭店 taco shop， 有做瑜伽的，然后有宠物理发的，好几个饭店吃披萨，然后还有 sit down 这种 restaurant。这是所有房子的电线啊。
161, this is your meter, right? Okay, so yeah. There's no responsibility for you in here. It's just to let you know where it's at. These doors, there's no deadbolt for them at all. They always have to remain unlocked. It's just in case someone needs some service and they have to come in here. Edison or whoever the electrician is, they'll be able to get access without any lock or have to worry about
okay.
that.
So she won't need to put any lock there.
You don't have to. If you want to, you could, but
okay.
I would recommend putting a cheap one.
Okay.
Just in case they have to, then
right.
you can just slip it off.
Right.
But preference for you, that's all. It's just a breaker dedicated for your home only. Everything else is for all the other homeowners, and then we have the main breaker for the entire building. So we don't want to play with anything else that's around here. Any questions in here?
So that's the main for the building.
This is for the main for the interior, okay. Exterior. It's a giant breaker.
Okay. So she has her own sub panel in the garage, so she doesn't need to ever come to here. Okay.
It's really just to give you an idea.
Right. 这是我们的水表和煤气表。
You do get another main shut off in your garage, so you won't have to be never going to be coming out here. I mean, like ever. There's no shut off over here for you anyways. This is just where sulfur gas will come out. Yeah.
So she has a shut off at her garage.
In the garage for gas, yes. So there's multiple shut offs as well. So there's one in your laundry room, one in the kitchen behind the stove.
Okay.
And there's another one in the attic for the AC, but we never want to touch that anyways.
Right.
Yeah, that's real. This is just the basis, just to let you know, right? So this is your meter. This is the entire manifold, right? That's holding everything that's mounted to the building. Gas risers on the side over there. Any questions in this area?
这个是我们的水表。
So 161, this is yours, right? Now, one thing in your home, you have a fire sprinkler system, right? So there's no shut off for the fire sprinkler system. We always want to keep that on. Now, say there's an earthquake, right? We have a pipe that bursts and we know it's coming from that fire sprinkler head, right? There's no shut off in the garage. There's a flush valve. I'll show you that when we're inside. But say in the event of an emergency or something like that, what you could do is you would hit that flush valve that I'll go over, and then you'd come out here and only play with this handle right here. Yeah, this will shut off and turn water on for your home only. So if I did that, I just shut water off to your home. So now that completely stops water to all your restrooms, sinks, appliances, and the fire sprinkler system. This is the main water meter right here. So
如果把这个横置的话，所有的水都停掉。
Other than that, there's no reason at all to come out here, turn it on or off.
Okay.
It's really just emergency purposes, and that's really like 0.1% chance of it happening.
Like she leave for vacation for a couple weeks, couple months, she can just shut off.
There is one in the garage.
There's one in the garage.
Yeah.
Yes.
you have any questions with this area at all?
No, I'm good.
So if we stand like right here, maybe a little bit further. So do you see in the 3rd floor window, there's a little pipe sticking out above it?
Yeah.
So that's the secondary condensate line. So in your attic where the AC is, you know, like how when you're driving, you have the AC on, it starts dripping underneath. So that's kind of what goes on inside the attic with the AC. So what happens is you have a primary condensate line, right? The important one, the very first, that goes through and connects to the drain system in the house and connects, right? If there's ever some sort of problem or something like that that might happen, say maybe that primary's getting clogged up, right? What'll happen is water would rise inside a smitty pan located in there, and what would happen is that water would start flowing out through this pipe right here. So this is it's like your signal saying, hey, there's something going on with the AC. You might want to check it out, maybe see if there's some service required. There's no sound alarm at all for the AC, so it's really, this is our go-to. I mean, even then, if you're inside the home and you put it for cool and it's not going cool and it's been quite a while, then that's something that, you know, you would definitely want to put in some service for. So those are vents. In your kitchen, we have where your microwave is mounted. Above it, we have a sheet metal duct that goes up and goes through the chase, and it connects right here to the exterior. So it's like if you're cooking or something, all that smoke, you could turn the fan on and it'll suck it and push it outside.
So one for ranch hood. What about the other one?
The other one's going to be for ventilation purposes.
For dryer, right?
Yes, correct.
Is the big one for dryer or the small one for dryer?
The room?
No, the vent.
Oh, the vent would be the big one.
The big one for the dryer?
Yes.
Okay.
Right here, this is connected to a smitty pan. So in your laundry room, we have this white pan. So if you ever get a washer dryer machine, right? Should it ever leak, instead of it going on the floor and around everywhere, it'll collect in that pan and it'll drain out here instead. So it's just a little support to help you, prevent any spilling on the floors. All the lights, everything exterior of the building, that's HOA maintained, right? So the lights are on a set timer, so they click on maybe around 6 or 7 sometime, whatever the HOA has planned for it, and then they'll click off in the morning. So other than that, on our left hand side, this is going to be that flush stub out. So that's going to be for the fire sprinkler system. So right here on the left, that's the fire sprinkler system, right? There's no maintenance for you at all. The PSI for it's always going to be around 150, very close to it. Now remember, say you got a leak, right? Or say even maybe this fire sprinkler head, right? Say in the future it starts leaking or something, right? There's no shut off for the water, so you would have to start flushing out the system so it's not leaking any more water, damaging anything else, right? So you just pull this handle down and it would start pouring out over here. Just like that. And then once everything's done, once it's drained completely, you can just close it anyways. And it'll start filling back in at 150. Once you start draining it, remember, just in case, say, for emergency purposes, right? Once you've done that, you're draining it out, you would shut it off at that meter and you're, okay, no, there's no more water that's gonna be going inside the system. Right here, this is just a regular hose bib, just to connect the water hose if you want to spray down your water, your vehicle or anything like that. This is going to be the shut off for the water. So this will shut off water for your showers, sinks, appliances, but it will not shut off to the fire sprinkler system. Okay, so if you go out of town for a month, who knows how long, you could easily just pull this up and you're okay. Now there will be water sitting inside, but over time, usually kind of just evaporates or so. But again, it's very simple. It's not too hard. And then just put the water back on, push it down. Now, if you do go out of town, you do that, right? And you're gone for a considerable amount of time. You'll notice when you turn it back on, you go inside, if you flush a toilet or something like that, you'll hear a loud thump. That's just the water getting back into its circulation.
The air in there.
Yeah, so there's got that P-trap right there, and that P-trap will prevent gases from coming out. So that's another possibility if you're gone for a long time. If that water in the P-trap dries out, then you'll start to get some gases coming up.
Right.
But all that'll fix it is just turn on the water, flushing it, filling it, and you're good to go. Foundation, right? Every garage, it's all connected. It's one foundation. You'll notice on your right side, it says post-tension, slab, and footing do not cut or core. So what it means is there's no cutting into the concrete, drilling, jackhammering, none of that. If you want to do epoxy, that's fine. You can do epoxy. You just want to make sure you do not cover this sewage gap right there. So what it is basically, say sewage, right, from the main system, something's going on, right? It's no longer draining because there's some issue going on. What will happen is rather than the sewage backtracking and coming back inside your home, you would be able to remove that lid and that sewage will be able to pour out into the street rather than go back inside your home. So it's just a little backup, a little support to prevent that from happening. These lines right here in the middle, those are all expansion joints. It's really just to help with all the settling. Really just if there's any cracking, the goal is to get them in between those expansion joints. So on the left, we got 1 and 2 right here, right? These little bowls on the wall. These are connected to the drain system. So like when you're flushing toilets and everything like that, they're running past here and they're connecting to the drain system. So say a toilet's not flushing anymore, right? It's just clogged and it's rising instead of draining, or even maybe the sink water is not draining anymore, right? There's obviously some service you'd want to get done. I don't know if you're familiar with like the snake device. Yeah, so these are going to be your 2 access points for your home. Behind me, this is going to be the gas shutoff. This is the main. This is a gas line pressure. This is the regulator, so this determines the pressure of the gas going through. Again, even if you're out of town, for this one, you could just easily just turn the knobs just like that. And this stuff right here, this is all, it's like plumber's putty, right? You got to have that there. Can't clean it off or anything like that because you don't want to risk removing too much, right? So that's all it is. It's harmless, just easy washes off. But again, this is your vacation mode if you're out of town, just like that water shut off over there. And then easily you could just turn it back on. So if you do that, right, you're gone for a considerable amount of time and you turn it back on, you go upstairs, you want to run the stove, it may take a couple minutes for the gas to fully reach. We have our tankless water heater. Everything that's inside that looks a little dirty, or little water spots, all that's going to get detailed, so we'll have it wiped down just to see how dusty it is. All that stuff's going to be done before your home delivery, so it'll look nice and sparkly. It is ran on gas, so this is the shutoff for it. Always want to keep it on as long as you want hot water. There's no water sitting inside the tankless, so it's really just a circulation that's going through, so it's heating up that water as it's passing by and it's going back inside the house. Only takes about 3 to 5 minutes or so. Doesn't take any longer than that. Should it ever take longer than that, you got some phone numbers that you can call for service. If you have any issues with that, feel free to reach out to Jason. This is for the shop light that's next to the garage motor. See the very white one? This one right here will be for the garage door. So I'm gonna press it. You'll get 2 garage door remotes for like the cars where you can mount it. You get 2 of those. You could also do it to where you can just pull it up and close with your hand manual, right? That noise you hear is the deadbolt at the bottom left. When you want to put it on manual to move it up and down with your arm, you'll just make sure you pull this back, pull this down so you hear the click. Just like that. Remember, just before you pull it up and down, you want to make sure you push this back. It's the deadbolt, right? If you want to go back to the garage door motor, you don't have to worry about putting this back. Just pull it. Hear that click? Deadbolt's back. We're good. And then we can just press the button. Just like that. Another thing too, so if you have something that's in the way, right? Most of the time, the sensor, the green one, if something's in the way and it's picking it up, it'll blink. So watch when I put my foot here. See how it starts blinking? If I try to press that button, it'll move, go back, and it'll start blinking. Then most of the time on the sensor, it'll tell you, oh, object obstructing, it's not gonna do it. Now, if there's nothing in the way, right, but it's something that's high enough and it's not in the way of the sensors, so if something's there, the garage door will detect it and it'll go back on its own. So it's not gonna try to keep shutting, and yeah. So if a car is there, now I'm not gonna put my mouth on anything. Maybe a little dent, right?
Yeah.
Of course, if there's a considerable amount of pressure, but it won't keep trying to shut or anything like that. It's just gonna close, open up back. You'll hear the blink, and then you'll see on it, it says there's too much force against the doors and it's unable to operate. So it really says excessive closing force detected. And that just means there's something in the way right there. So we got the diagram on the left. All the breakers are labeled. Odds are on the left, evens are on the right. On the sides, they are engraved, the numbers, just like they are on the diagram. All of these ones right here, these are all just extra slots. So in the future, if you want to do something like EV charger, right? Maybe you have a smart car, you want to put an electrical charger. They can just remove this, whoever you have. They'll remove the blank plate. They'll run their wire through and they'll just remove these, either one, it's fine. They'll remove them, put their breaker, and then more than likely just write on here that this is there. So that's just something we put there. It's got a conduit, so they should have no issues running that for you. Then I'll show you how pretty simple it is too. So where you at? Okay, garage, right? 21. So you'll notice if you look at the garage door button, I'm gonna turn it off. Just want to check upstairs first, because most of the time they have a little trip reset button. Just make sure you're there first. If nothing's happening, then maybe you want to check here after. So it's off, right? Now I'm going to press it on and it's going to turn on in like 1 second or so. And it should turn on. And then just because it's hardwired to the motor, you don't have to reprogram or anything like that. You can press the button and it'll open and close again. So we got the fire sprinkler heads, right? That's going to be this little guy here, one in the middle, and there's another one over there on the ceiling. In your home, you have fire sprinkler heads, but they have like a flush trim. Just, it's a cleaner, it's like a circle, looks nicer. We'll be able to see them all. The only area that looks exactly the same as this is in your laundry room. Okay. This right here is an Eero, it's a Wi-Fi expander. So you have one here in the ceiling, so you'll be able to get some service down here for Wi-Fi. You have one on the second floor ceiling for the second floor. And then on the third floor, it's really like the mother, right? It's the main one.
Yeah.
That will be in your structure can. We'll be able to see that. And they're all hardwired to that main one. So when you get whoever your service provider is, Cox or AT&T, those are the only ones that are out here at the moment. Once you get your internet router, you'll be able to connect it to that Eero, and it'll be just like if you had it right here on the ceiling. Like if you had your internet router right here.
That's very important because my garage couldn't receive this.
It's because it's too far, I bet, right? Yeah. So this little device, that's a transformer for the doorbell chime. You get one on your second floor. We'll be able to see them. One on the third floor. So there's no protective casing, no finish trim or anything like that. It needs to have some breathing air. When they first came out, I believe they tried putting on something like that, and the wires generated too much heat and they just shortened out. So it needs to be exposed and it needs to have that breathing air. We're gonna go up to the third floor.
这是我们的第二次 walk through 了。上一次我们 walk 完，他们发现一些东西，然后他现在已经全部更新了。然后同时呢，他会把这个以后的 customer service 来介绍给我们，就是 Jason 帮助我们的买家在后期搬入后发现什么问题的话，可以来解决问题。而且 Sheahomes 他们递交 repair ticket 的方式也比较好。可以打电话，也可以发邮件，也可以通过 online portal， 所以很人性化。
So, just as we're walking, right, paint touch-ups. Remember, if we can't see anything, then that's dust and mold, right?
Yeah.
And here, remember some detailing on the schluter in the shower. So, I mean, please.
估计得等一会儿。
3 to 5 minutes.
So it's been a while.
Just
Yeah.
3 to 5 minutes.
Yeah,
so
probably,
if you're
yeah.
standing there, you're
Yeah, forever, yeah.
So we could close the door. We'll
Yeah.
walk away
然后我
from
们
this
回来再看。对对对。我们试一下热水，这些都是我们做的升级。高的门。
That would be for this bottom corner, do you remember?
这边是落地台灯开关，所以这里本来是空的，是吧？这边是空的。
少了空了。
一个是风扇。
风扇的，对，这个是灯。
这是灯，风扇就3档、4档可能。这是灯。灯也是带阻尼的。
So he's got it open.
这是快库。
Yeah. So you got to set a time for it first. For one, go ahead.
High. Right here.
So remember when we were hitting high, and we just kept going forward. Now we're high.
现在修好了。
Steven up. Perfect.
Feel the hot.
So you can see it.
Oh yeah， 好，热水来了，可以洗澡了。6月可以洗澡了，是吧？这个是一橱。OK。这边是网络接口，不错不错。我们这边是朝东的，然后这边又是比较开阔，所以采光很好，可是又不晒。晒的呢是这边朝西的，西的呢可是有房子给我们挡住，所以也没有西晒。挺好。Quartz backsplash。微波炉，然后微波炉是可以带抽油烟机的。这边是烤箱，烤箱也带风扇。这个，然后这边是一套smart home feature 给它 ring， 然后到过户完，他可以打电话给这个公司，让他们来帮忙 set up。
So there's a lot of things installed in that panel. One of them is the ring doorbell. This is for the front door. This is the hub for it. The power supply is in that panel. That's one of the cords there. The front door. Actually, the deadbolt. It uses batteries. So we haven't put the batteries in there yet. Once you have internet, you can put the batteries in, and then we can program it.
This is for the front door.
Yes.
Okay.
We have a company that will program all these for you. It's a free visit. If you want to do it yourself, you can scan this with your phone. It'll download the app and I'll show you how to do it.
Okay.
But if you don't want to, we have a company that'll do it for you. This house has an Eero system, where there's an Eero in every floor. The first floor, the second floor, and the third floor.
每一层都有这个 WiFi 增强器。
The first and second floor, the ones that are on the ceiling, use these ones. And then the one on the third floor is inside that little white panel in the closet. So this is the hub. This is where the internet plugs into. If you don't have the internet plugged into this, then it doesn't do anything. It's just Wi-Fi.
What is it? Is in the third floor closet?
Yes.
The main bedroom, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, this is inside there. It's already installed. It's got power. It just needs internet. Because by itself, without internet, it doesn't do anything.
So in that company, they know how to do that. As I said, they know where they are.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. Once you have the internet plugged into this, it gives a signal to all of these.
Okay.
Because these ones that are on the first floor and the second floor here are already wired to this one in the closet. This is the switch where all the little things are plugged into. And then this is for the single zone thermostat. We give a little book for it if you wanted to program it or something. These are all the paperwork for the appliances. The appliances are the only thing where if you need service, you call them directly.
Okay.
Everything else you will reach out to us, and I'll give you paperwork on how to do that. Also, we've also given you some paint. So if you're moving in or you need some touch up, we have the flat, which is for like the walls. And then the gloss is like the shiny for the trim.
This is the shiny one.
Yeah, so any
Shine my
room that
glass.
has moisture, like the kitchen, the walls will be the shiny. And then like the living room, just like you said, like this is all the living room, this is all flat, but everything right here is going to be shiny because it's for moisture. So kitchen and bathrooms will be in the semi-gloss. So we give paint for both of those just in case if you move it in, somebody bumps something, and then do it.
Yeah.
Inside here, this is, Roland probably talked about this. This is for the laundry.
煤气。
So this accepts a gas dryer. Yeah, we get that question a lot.
Is this banded or
Yes. So this wall is very skinny.
Right.
So the exhaust one is usually a circle, ours are an oval.
Okay.
So when they install the hood, they put it together and they use tape to seal it.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's enough space for they to
Yeah.
hook up.
Yeah. The duct for the dryer is flexible, so it can be molded to it.
Okay.
I get that question a lot. It's really important to me that we talk about it now.
Yeah.
So when they come to drop it off, there's no surprises.
Right.
Yeah.
OK， 底下洗衣机，上面烘干机，烘干机买煤气的，对，买叠加式的，但是你可以买这种 full size，但是是叠加式的。